Hello? Hello, yes, hi. How are you? Welcome back. It has been a month. I'm John, small time bookseller. And as like I say, it's been a month since my last video, and in that time, many things have happened and many things have sold. And we're going to talk about it. So yes, my name's John. I'm a small time bookseller. And as the name might suggest, I like to sell some books. And when I do, on eBay, it's where I sell. I'll come on here and I'll tell you a little bit about what I sold. So I don't do anything else. That's pretty much it. So no garage sale videos, no yard sale videos. I don't do any GoPros, the Goodwill bins, looking at my hands, whose friends had accused them of prophesying floods and poisoned fish, though they knew their worth and courage. No time for that kind of thing. Come on. What do I look like? So all I'm going to do, got my list here. I'm going to go through some things that sold. Book sales have been slowed. They've really slowed down quite a bit lately. So the not a book items have really been carrying the day. So we're going to talk about more of my not a book things. Going to also get into some philosophy about, as a primary bookseller, what do I choose as not a book items? Which ones do I choose and why? And we're going to talk about that for a little bit as well. So in the last month, though, I did sell 37 books, $827.95, which is a $22.38 per book average. Not bad. I like if it's 25, that's kind of my goal. I have a $25 average per book. Didn't have a lot of high value, high price books this time around. So the ones I'm going to point out here are the highest ones that sold, and then a couple others that are just something that sell really well that you can keep an eye out for. So the first kind of thing, so a lot of religious books are sold, nonfiction, education, study guides, those typical things that sell, continue to sell, just not quite as much. And I really struggled finding in good textbooks. Usually the textbooks are the ones that kind of boost up that average a lot of times, and I just wasn't able to find, or they just weren't selling. I wasn't finding them as I usually do. So what did sell? So the first one I want to highlight is this one, Crisis Counseling. This sold for $45, and it's a genre that sells, especially if it's related to children, where maybe a grief counselor or a school counselor leading children through grief counseling, or any kind of crisis or trauma. I've sold many books related to not treating like physical trauma, but emotional trauma, so through counseling. So that's a genre that sells. So always look those up if you see them. Another one that I have sold before, and I saw another copy of it, so I picked this one up, is this one, Black's Law Dictionary. This one sold for $50, and it was not new. It had one heavily highlighted chapter, so it looked like somebody bought this thing for a specific purpose. They needed chapter 17, and chapter 17 was highlighted like crazy. The rest of the book seemed untouched, so I obviously, denoted all that in the description, and it still sold for $50. So this in pristine condition would sell for even more. But that's a good one. Like I say, it's not the first time I've sold Black's Law Dictionary. And I think that one even went to Australia, which is kind of cool. The next one, this is something I had no idea what it was. I'd never heard of this before, but it sold for $48.50. This is the Do-It-Yourself Skoolie Guide. Anybody know what a Skoolie is? Anybody? No? I didn't either. You probably did. A Skoolie is when you take an old school bus, change it into a home. If you want to live on a school bus, this is what you would need to do if you want to do it yourself. You buy this book and teach you how to change a school bus into a house. So that's a Skoolie. So $48.50 for that. So that was a surprise. Next one is a kind of possibly a textbook. The Connecticut Wildlife Biodiversity and Natural History. This one was $49.95. So that was my one textbook kind of looking deal. And those are my 4 highest books that sold for the month. The next one, I do want to point out one other book, and that is this one. This Title 15 Annotated U.S. Code of Commerce and Trade. So over 30 bucks. I'm pointing this out because I sold 2 of them in the last month. So if you see this one, pick it up and sell the thing. So that was it for everything else was pretty standard, typical fare. And like I say, the book sales have kind of dropped off. So I ended up buying and selling more non-book items. So for me, I do most of my shopping at the bin drop, that Amazon returns store. So on Saturdays, if I'm going there, it's $8 per item. So that's paying up pretty good. So if I get something there, I want it to be something that I know is going to sell quickly. So I don't want to take a lot of risk of spending $8 per item. And I'm also learning that I don't want to buy things that I cannot test to see if they work or not. I want things that are obviously new with tags, new in a package. They've been returned because it was the wrong color, or maybe they just was undeliverable, something like that. Not returned because it was possibly broken. So one item that I picked up a couple weeks ago and sold is this one. It's a Columbia jacket, a woman's jacket. So I paid $8 for this on a Saturday, and it sold for $145. A winter coat selling right now. It went to Australia, and I had a really interesting back and forth with the person who was asking some questions before she bought it about it. And she's like, it's freezing here in southern Australia. And I kind of forget that sometimes, that, the way the whole hemispheres work and all. So yeah, so that was a good one. So again, this was new with tags. I could check it out in the store. I could look at it, make sure there's no holes, make sure there's no stains, and I could see that it's complete. And it's hard to break a jacket. I could probably do it, but I know when it ships, it's going to get there. It's going to be in the same condition as when I boxed it up. All right, here's another item. This is a Sun Purity as a spa filter. So this one was, I went on Wednesday to the bin drop. So that's $3 day. Thursday's $1 day. There were a bunch of these towards the end of the day. So I was like, I'm just going to come early Thursday and try to get these for $1 instead of $3. So, because they seemed like they were selling. So I ended up picking up 13 of these at $1 a piece. And this is just, it's a plastic square about 2 inches by 2 inches filled with some kind of rocks or something. It's a filter. And so it looked like they're in good condition. Most of them were in a box with the paperwork new. They looked new. And so I got 10 of them were in boxes. And then there are 3 of them that were just not in a box, just on their own. So again, I paid $1 for each one, so $13 total. And I sold the ones that weren't in a box for $15.95 each, and the 10 that were in a box for $21.95 each. So 13 bucks into $250 or close to that. So that was pretty fun. Then they sold quickly, and it was crazy. It was actually like sitting here, boxing stuff up one night, and I sold one, so I got it out. And while I'm doing that one, another order came in for 4, and then another order came in for 2, and they just went quick. And they'd been sitting there. I'd had them up for sale for like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden they just all started selling. So that was fun. All right, so that was something that I picked up because there were multiple quantities. They were cheap. I saw on eBay that they were selling. There's quite a few listed, but there are quite a few sold. And so I thought it was worth picking up. If it was $8 a day, I wouldn't have touched them. The profits margin wouldn't have been there, and that would have been a little too much of a risk. But $1 a day, heck yeah. All right, the next thing, similar thing here. This is some Fujifilm. Again, so this was an $8 day, but it was a bag of 7 of these. There's 7 boxes of this Fujifilm, and only one of them had been opened. The others were still sealed. And so I sold the one that's opened for $12, and I sold the others for $15. I haven't sold them all yet, but I've sold 3 of them at $15 a piece. So as soon as I sold that first one, I was already in the profit. So again, multiple quantities. $8 for 7 of them. So a little over $1 a box, and I'm selling them for either 12 or 15. So, you know, that was another thing I picked up. Another one that I had sold previously, but it got returned because I had labeled it wrong. I thought it was a short sleeve, but it was a long sleeve. So then I went back and actually labeled it correctly. Is this one, this Nili Lotan shirt. And so this one did sell again. The first time I sold it was for like 125. This time I sold it for 100. It's a new shirt. It's got tags. It was obviously in good condition. So that's the kind of thing I can pick up and I can sell. So I don't want to sell any clothes that aren't new. Just because I don't know about sizing. I don't know about condition. These are brand new clothes. I will sell those. Things that are packaged, I will sell those. I sold crumbs. What was the name of it? I forget what it is, but it's the kind of thing where to diagnose electrical problems in your car, little thing that you plug in. Had one of those in a box at the bin drop. So I paid, don't know what day I was there, but I probably paid $5 to $7 for it. And sold it for $35. It shipped off. The guy messaged me today and said it doesn't work. Not something that I would have known how to check, how to test. I'm going to stop buying stuff like that. Like if it's something that I don't know about, if I'm not familiar with the product, and I cannot test it to see if it works, I'm not going to buy it to resell. So I'm just going to stick with things that are new in package, new clothes with tags, and multiple quantities of smaller items, things like that. So that's kind of the way I'm thinking about it moving forward, because the only things I've ever had returned have been non-book items. You know, I know books. I know how to condition a book. I know how to tell if it's a first edition. I know how to look for, I'm very familiar with books. I know how to package a book. A book's not going to break on the way there. And I've never had a book. I had one book returned that a guy just said, it's not what I thought it was. I would like to return it. But I've had multiple things now, that break or don't work, and I've had to do returns, and I'm tired of doing returns. So yeah, so my eBay room is where I'm back in again. For half a year, we had a foreign exchange student staying right there. She's gone back to South Korea. Hi, Sarah, if you're watching the videos, hi from Texas once again. Hi. But so that means I'm back in the old room. So hopefully that means I'm going to be have a good spot to do videos, and I can do them more often. I would like to do them more often. And then let me see if there's anything else. There was one other non-book item that I want to tell you about that I found. What's his name? Chris, I think his name is, and his channel is Flip the World. He's a reseller in Houston, and funny. If you want to know about flipping shoes or jeans and the crazy stuff they find besides that, but that's kind of what they do a lot of. That's a great channel to follow, Flip the World. He's funny, and so I would recommend that one. But anyways, I think it was him that I learned about this. If it wasn't him, I'm just giving him a free shout out for no reason at all. But I think it was a backpack with a brand name Tumi, T-U-M-I. And I found one at a Goodwill Bins, and a different one than the one I usually go to. So I paid like $3 or $4 for it. And these have like a serial number on the inside, and they are the new ones. The leather ones can sell for in the hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This was a lower quality. It looked terrible when I got it, but I knew that brand because I'd seen videos about it. So I bought it for like $4, brought it home, washed it, threw it in the washing machine. Came out great. It looked beautiful after I got it in the washing machine. I put it up for like $100, $110, something like that. It sold for $75 for a backpack. So that's a good one to look out for too. Tumi, T-U-M-I. So that's kind of what I wanted to mention. I'd forgotten that one. And I think that's going to be about it. So, I hope that things aren't too slow for you guys. I'm glad to be back in my eBay room here, and got some new shelves, got a new system. So everything that I've purchased in the last like 6 months that was sitting in the living room is now up here on a shelf. Most of that stuff there has not been listed yet. Yeah, and I'm gonna make another video soon about kind of like what books I'll sell and the profit margins I'm looking at, and what do I do with the ones that I'm not selling. So that'll be another video. This one's plenty long, and we're done. So that's it. So again, thank you everybody. I'm up over 160 subscribers now. So if you're not subscribed, you can go ahead and do that right now. Nice. Wonderful. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Good luck and adios.